Negro National Anthem. Please welcome Michaela Cheadle, I Am Rebel, and Joshua Carter. Please let us all rise.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing Miss Phelicia, you all know her, Miss Phelicia Jones at this time.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to see all of you here celebrating Juneteenth. And so, yes, you guys all look good. All the people back in the back, you know, the caterers, thank you. I welcome you to Juneteenth 2024. Lynn, I love you. Yes, Lynn, I love you. And so this is what I would like to say before we bring up the mayor. I am humbled at this particular time. Times are difficult for us. Things are going every which way, but it is going to go the right way. And if you believe in that, stand on your feet with your flags. Stand on your feet with your flags, because it's Juneteenth. It's Juneteenth. to present this to you as a memory of Juneteenth from last year. And it's all of us standing. I think it's a wonderful keepsake. And I just want to say I love you, girl. You my girl.
Welcome to San Francisco City Hall to kick off Juneteenth! You are going to be hearing from a number of our leaders today, but I want to take this opportunity to recognize a few leaders. You'll hear from our State Attorney General, Rob Bonta, and our California State Senator, Scott Wiener. Thank you to our local elected leaders, including Jose Cisneros, our District Attorney, Brooke Jenkins, our City Attorney, David Chu, our Sheriff, Paul Miyamoto, our Assessor, Joaquin Torres, our Fire Chief, Janine Nicholson, our Police Chief, Bill Scott, our City Administrator, Harmon Chu, and a bunch of other department heads, including Dr. Grant Colfax, Reverend Brown, and you name it. You know, I appreciate the leadership of the city being here to kick off Juneteenth. It is important that we recognize this as a celebration, but also it's important that we take a step back to understand the significance of Juneteenth. And we know that this dates back to starting in 1863 with the Emancipation Proclamation and the people in the South, in very deep South rural areas in Texas, not finding out about the freedom that we are enjoying today until 2 years later, sometime in June of 1865. And then in San Francisco, we can look back at when we started the celebratory events, all the way back to 1945 or so, and really kicking it off with a number of local nightclubs originally in 1950. But Walter Johnson of the Texas Playhouse really set it off in 1964 with the first Juneteenth Festival and Parade down Fillmore Street. And here's the thing, what I've always appreciated about an opportunity to celebrate Juneteenth is, yes, it's celebrating freedom, but it's also overcoming a lot of adversity. And when we think about how far this country's history is in terms of the oppression of Black people, that's not even distant history. That's really recent history. My grandmother worked one generation out of slavery, and she actually migrated from Texas to San Francisco and still felt very uncomfortable interacting sometimes with people who were not African American. But she was tough, and she would give you a good whooping on occasion. And when I think about what people like my grandmothers and others had to overcome in places like the South, and what we're experiencing here today in San Francisco, we haven't come as far as we would like to believe. Now, I know that I am the first Black woman to serve as mayor of San Francisco. But I definitely don't want to be the last. Just a couple weeks ago, some of you may have recalled or heard in the press of some very racist and sexist words were spray painted on the front of City Hall. And it made me realize in 2024, we haven't come as far as we believe we have. So I will not apologize for making hard decisions that includes significant investments in Black people in San Francisco. While a lot of people talked a good game after the death of George Floyd, we actually did something about it. With the wealth and disparities in the Black community and Phelicia Jones, we implemented the 272 recommendations from the Obama administration Department of Justice to reform our police department, and our Chief Bill Scott helped to lead those efforts. And with the Dream Keeper initiative, people who have opened their first business in San Francisco, people who are born and raised in this city, opening their first businesses, providing opportunities for their program. Over 32 Black people received $500,000 for down payment assistance to buy their first home. And we know the work continues. And especially for all of you who have been the beneficiary of resources from the Dream Keeper Initiative. The Dream Keeper Initiative is about ensuring your success, but it's also about ensuring the success of the entire community. You are a part of helping to uplift the next generation of Black kids growing up in this city. Because they need us now more than ever. And we may talk about the fact that we have a less than 5% African American population in this city, but that 5% is mighty and can move mountains. The forces have always worked against me in my life. And you know what? The ancestors have always worked for me in my life. We have to remember that and take the ancestors, the strength of what they have gone through, and use that to lift us up and lift up our community. That's how we recognize their legacy and what they have done to get us to this point thus far in life. And again, like Harriet Tubman did, put her life on the line to go back and free other people. She was not just content with her success. She wanted to ensure that others were free too. As we commemorate Juneteenth, yes, we will celebrate. Yes, there will be music. Yes, there will be fun, and we will see people that we haven't seen in a long time. Yes, we will uplift African Americans in this city, in this country. But we will also remain vigilant. We will also remember that there is still work that needs to be done to address the racial disparities, the discrimination, and a lot of the problems that we still experience, even in a place like San Francisco. So I want to thank all of you for being here today. And one of the other things I want to say before am I introducing the next speaker? Before I introduce the next speaker, we this summer, under the direction of Dr. Cheryl Davis, at the Dream Keeper Initiative, we have brought to San Francisco an opportunity to bring students from historically Black colleges and universities who are taking classes downtown, who are staying in our communities, and who will connect with the young people in our communities. I want our children to see up close and personal what Black excellence look like from these students who are joining us here this year. So let's continue to do all we can to make sure that we are celebrating Juneteenth, but we're recognizing, celebrating, uplifting our community General Rob Bonta has been a real partner in a lot of the work that we do to address the challenges that exist in our law enforcement community. I want to especially appreciate how consistently, when there are problems in this city, he is always doing everything he can to use the law as a tool for good. And in fact, we have been working together to address a number of the challenges related to hate crimes in this state. He has formed a committee to really ensure that people are held accountable and brought to justice. And earlier today, we were at Self-Help for the Elderly, talking about elder abuse and how elder abuse of our seniors is on the rise, and we have services and support to protect our most vulnerable, our senior community. I appreciate the work he's done. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Attorney General Rob Bonta.
Let's give it up one more time to Mayor Breed. Thank you for the very kind and generous introduction, Mayor Breed. I am honored and grateful for the opportunity to be here in the great city and county of San Francisco to celebrate the kickoff of Juneteenth with all of you. And I want to say first, greetings from both me and Assemblymember Mia Bonta, sometimes known as the Better Bonta. We both send our best today on Juneteenth as you kick off the celebration here in San Francisco. And of course, we are commemorating the emancipation of enslaved Black Americans in the United States of America. And we take the time to honor the legacy of those who fought for freedom and celebrate the significant sacrifices and achievements and contributions of Black Americans to our great country. We also recommit to forging a new unified future, a future that doesn't ignore the past, because we must acknowledge the sins of the past, the wrongs and injustices of the past, but also isn't hindered by any lingering forms of oppression, voter disenfranchisement, redlining, racial violence. And so we commit to a future where America fulfills its promise to all. And Juneteenth is about acknowledging that. And acknowledging that while we've made great strides, we can't afford to be complacent and take for granted those hard-fought gains. And as the mayor just stated, we have more road to travel on that road to progress. There is more to do. And it's important, in my humble opinion, to be impatient for the change we need. We need to demand it. We need to be intolerant for injustice, of injustice, and make sure we're pursuing justice in more places and spaces. And we also must remind ourselves, we all have a role to play. We have agency, we have power, we have potency, the ability to create the change, the society, the state, the nation that we deserve, that we want. And we must be cognizant of the challenges and threats that we see all around us. When we're seeing rampant efforts to erase Black history from school curriculum, whether it's through book bans or attempts to whitewash our nation's past. We are seeing hate crimes against the Black community at very high levels and continue to remain an ongoing threat. And at DOJ, we are committed to this important work of protecting and advancing civil rights and freedom and democracy. We launched, thank you. In my first weeks in office, we launched the Racial Justice Bureau to call out systemic racial injustice in California and to take a stance against it. We created our Office of Community Awareness, Response, and Engagement to work with and for our community throughout the state of California. We have been active with our Civil Rights Enforcement section, making sure that Californians' constitutional rights and civil rights are being honored and when they're violated, that we take steps to make sure those rights are vindicated. We are supporting the work of the California Reparations Task Force that has acknowledged the original sin that remains a stain on our country's history of slavery and taken steps to create more justice and more opportunity and more healing. We will continue to fight against racial bias in housing and healthcare, in policing, make sure our schools teach an inclusive curriculum that reflects our state's rich and beautiful diversity. We will combat attacks on diversity programs that provide equitable access to education and economic growth. And we will disrupt the school to dropout track by protecting students from discriminatory discipline practices and excessive school removals. And that is just a small sampling of the work we're doing, the work that needs to get done, and the work that we can only do if we do it together. And I am very proud that I have the opportunity to serve as California Attorney General, that I have a role to play in providing more justice, more opportunity, more equity, more inclusion to Californians and Americans. I'm also proud that my father marched and organized the Civil Rights Movement, that he, as a call to action, when his friend was sending him audio cassette tapes from across the country with the voice of Martin Luther King Jr. speaking about a fair world and a more just society, he went to Selma, Alabama. He met Stokely Carmichael. He sat in Brown Chapel AME Church when Martin Luther King Jr. appeared for an unannounced sermon. We all have a role to play. And we can look forward with anxiety and worry and fear about our future, or we can look forward with optimism and hope. And I have optimism and hope that we can accomplish anything if we do it together, if we fight for each other, if we love each other, if we have each other's back. So happy Juneteenth. I'm honored to fight for you.